Hi Zeta and Garrett, how's it going? It's Mr. Foster. Another fun day in the land of world history. And as you can see here, we're going to be talking about a little astronomy today. And specifically, we'll be getting into astronomy, that some of the breakthroughs that were occurring during the Enlightenment period. And more than anything, we're going to be talking about how to do a DBQ effectively. So we'll get into that shortly. But for this warm up, it's basically just kind of testing your background knowledge as far as what you think in relation to, is the Earth or the Sun the center of the solar system, and how do we know that? So hopefully, through your various science classes and astronomy and just knowing, just kind of having conversations with various people throughout your life, you know that the Sun is in fact the center of the solar system, which is why it's called the solar system, like solar power, sun, etc. And so the Earth revolves around the Sun. How do we know that? Well, science tells us that. So be thinking about some other ways besides just saying that we do know, in fact, that we are actually revolving around the Sun instead of the other way around. Because as we're going to talk about, it wasn't always so simple. A lot of people, in fact, most people felt that it was the other way around, that we were the center of the universe, that everything was revolving around us because we were Earth, right? So that's what we're going to be getting into today. The main thing that we're going to try to get out of this is to be able to synthesize and analyze historical evidence in order to construct and defend a written historical argument. And I'm still keeping track of what you guys said as far as that first class of this unit, where it's like I gave you the different PIs and you told me what you guys could do and what you needed work on. So here's that list of what you need work on. And I have highlighted what we're going to be working on today. So the main two areas are in yellow. It says how to construct and defend a written historical argument. A couple areas there, as well as how to analyze and synthesize sources. So we're going to get into both of those things today. And we're going to be starting our first DBQ of the year, and we'll get into what that means in just a sec. But the question, the compelling question that we're going to be getting into is, was Galileo really a heretic? So in order to get to the bottom of this, we have a few vocab terms that you need to jot down. So go back to the back part of your world history notebook, and please get ready to jot down 2 vocab terms. So first of all, what is this document-based question you speak of, Mr. Foster? Well, here it is. I like to refer to them as DBQ, and they're pretty much the best thing ever, especially for me as a history teacher, and also for you as a historian as well. So a document-based question, it says right here, is a common task for a rigorous history classroom in which students write arguments using historical documents as evidence to answer a compelling historical question. And I'll cite the source there as far as watch whether or not that's a very reliable source. Heretic is someone whose beliefs go against the church's official beliefs. So in order to get at this DBQ question, was Galileo really a heretic? We're going to be answering, was Galileo really somebody whose beliefs went against the church's official beliefs? So that's what we're going to be kind of grappling with today. A little bit of context. So there's 2 main models of the solar system throughout history. So this gets into a little bit of history and a little bit of science. So way back when, like we talked about, the geocentric model was where the Earth was the center of the solar system and in fact the center of the universe. The heliocentric model was different. That's what we believe now, which is that the sun is actually the center of the solar system. But that was not the case as far as common popular belief back during the times of the Enlightenment. Here's a little timeline as far as this is all in the Common Era. So we're starting with 1543 when somebody named Nicholas Copernicus published a book that first supported the heliocentric theory. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. Galileo was born right here in 1564. So that's also important. And then check it out, guys. In 1609, he invented a telescope, not was the first one to invent a telescope, but he invented a specific type of telescope that convinced him of the heliocentric model. And 1615 is when the Catholic Church told Galileo to stop sharing that theory. They were threatened by him. So that's a very important date to remember, as well as 1633, because as you'll notice at the bottom on 1633, they charged him with heresy and tried him in Rome. So that's the timeline that we're talking about right here. Lastly, for context, we have this scripture from the Bible which specifically states that sun, stand still over Gibeon, and you, moon, over the valley of Ajalon. So the sun stood still and the moon stopped till the nation avenged itself of its enemies, as it is written in the book of Jashar. So this is basically the evidence that is cited in the Bible that states that that the earth is the center of the universe. Okay, so the first step, and this is all in your assignment, is you need to read document 1. So there's a background information that I have on there as well as a video. So the link to the video is at the bottom of this. So after you read this, you're going to watch the video and then you're going to answer the questions that follow. So there's some document analysis questions that are for each of these 3 documents. We have document A, document B, and document C. So now would be the time to go over to It's Learning and to take a look at document A to be able to watch the video and to answer the document analysis questions. Okay, so here's the questions and here's where you're going to be going to for the video to be able to answer those questions. So make sure you're doing that for document A. Document B and C. In class, we're going to be jigsawing this, which means that you're going to be doing one of these documents and then you're going to have a partner to be able to do the other document, and then you're going to kind of share what you have and teach the other person about your document. So if Garrett, if you and Zeta want to maybe message each other on It's Learning or email and see if you want to go about that, that's totally fine. Otherwise, I'm sorry guys, but you're going to have to just do both of these documents, okay? So make sure that you're going through, there's a few questions that you have to answer before reading the documents, and then there's some questions that you have to answer while and after you're reading each document. So make sure you're reading the document and then answering the questions to the best of your ability. Okay, you'll notice on your assignment that part 2 is where you're actually going to decide your claim. So your claim is like, this is my argument. This is what I'm going to put my stake in the sand and say, this is how I feel. And so with argumentative writing, your claim is basically the center point of your entire essay. And this essay that we're going to be writing is not going to be like a big old 5-paragraph essay. It's just going to be a large paragraph that has your claim followed by 2 pieces of evidence and a reasoning for each piece of evidence. So I'll go over that here in a little bit with the outline. But now's the time that you're going to, like it says, you're going to just pick one, so you can just highlight the one that you decide on your document. I believe that yes, Galileo was a heretic. He went against the teachings of the church. The church told him to stop teaching the heliocentric model, and he did it anyway. Or, no, I don't believe that Galileo was a heretic. He may have gone against a few of the church's rules, but he still believed in the Bible. He said that people were interpreting the Bible incorrectly, not that the Bible was wrong. So choose one of those. Okay. This right here, guys, is where we're going to be stopping for today. So all you need to do up to this point for today is through part 3, which is the outline. So you're going to take all that you've gotten up to this point and you're going to put it into your outline. So like it says, for the claim, you're going to copy and paste the claim from above, or if you'd like to, you can create your own. And then from evidence, you're going to find 2 pieces of evidence that you're going to take directly from the documents above. And then for each piece of reasoning, you're going to say, how does this evidence support your claim? So that's where you explain the evidence and say how it supports your claim that you already have. So we need to go through that with 2 pieces of evidence and then a counterclaim. Some people may feel that and then say the other side, that he was not a heretic. Or if you thought that he was not a heretic, say some people feel that he was a heretic. However, when it comes down to it, I really feel this, and that's going to be your conclusion. So nothing fancy on the counterclaim and the conclusion. We'll talk about that next time. But just make sure you have this outline done and ready to go for next time, because for class on Friday, we are going to be constructing your DBQ. All right. So again, the assignment on It's Learning is to do all of the Google Doc for today except for the last part, which is the essay itself, all the way through the outline. Okay? All right, guys, that wasn't my usual 15 minutes. It was only 10 minutes and 45 seconds. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Good job, guys. Take it easy.